All right, let's try this again. Are we live? Let's try this again. I said, are we live? All right, if we live, then let's get it. Yo, Rodero, the one man show. I'm coming at you, and I'm bringing you something I hope you can use. I'm tired of all these radio referees nowadays on the radio, on the talk shows, on the corner with a 40 in their hand, talking about how things got so bad. What do you do with these youth? Well, they were the adults, and they didn't handle their business. So I think I should tell you what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause yo, I'm cleaning up these streets. 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 Yo, I'm taking it to you, running through you like diarrhea. Get the peps up. I'm feeling you like a kleptomaniac. I bring the facts with attitude. I got nothing to prove. I want to make you move, so get up. Take notice, take no one for granted. I stay focused, trying to take back our streets on the creeps. Who on our neighborhoods? It might be our kids, but they're no damn good. I'm taking a stand up, dependent on a man to control my block. I'm fixing to go out here and knock some sense into our youth on with the truth. We have more obligation to ensure the safety of our nation. Well, let's start. One block at a time. Grab a stick, grab a gun. Don't let no one loiter on your street. Videotape them, turn up the heat. Exercise your right, stand up and fight. You know I'm right. And yo, like I said, I'm cleaning up these streets. I'm cleaning up these streets. Cleaning up these streets. I'm cleaning up these streets. Yo, are you a man or a mouse? What do you hide in your house? Why not pick up the porch? Sit out on your porch, do yourself a favor, get to know your neighbors. Sit back and treat them bad, the dealers don't like this. You outnumber them. 20 to 1, but if you're not united, then they jump you 5 to 1. On the news spread to set up, speaking out, you hide under your bed, building a high fence, thinking that you're safe. Your son gets shot, so your daughter gets raped. But no one cares, hey, better use them, you can't see that's the attitude. That crime depends on the growth. That's why they show them fools on TV to make you afraid of your own security. These are our sons or our daughters who used to beg for a quarter. Now they're starving each other, putting their hands on their mothers. We ain't doing nothing. Ain't no excuse to stop fronting you on public information to help you improve your situation. Anything of our own streets. Who cares about the mayor and the police? And like I said, yo, I'm cleaning up these streets. 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 If you love my clock, are your children in the bed or they are dealing out to the crackheads? How can you cope knowing that our children are selling dope and worse yet, using and abusing their bodies for some crack, selling their bodies for smoke, abandoning their babies, especially their parents are too damn lazy to keep them in check. And you wonder why you get no respect, why they rip you off because you raised them soft and do anything like they say out of your way. Don't want to go to school. Hey, that's okay. Like you got when you were young, and you had no care except having fun. Having fun nowadays, you in jail or death. You slept. All you had was a crap herpes. This generation has the HIV, the AID, but no one seems to care. No one to share the resources going in what's in their head that says, ha, the other from the fight for you're already dead. For better cause than each other. The down to get your asset because when you pass, that's the last thing you leave. You'll see passes on your belief. But if you burn them first, it's the community you cheat. Like I said, yo, honestly, I'm cleaning up these streets.
No more drugs, yo.
I'm cleaning up these streets.
Taking out your thugs,
Yo, I'm cleaning up these streets.
You dealers got
We
to
all
go.
should be cleaning up these streets.
Even the pimps and hoes.
I ain't gonna sit here in front, yo. You know what's going on outside your door. Go up there and take a look. See what your children are doing when you think they doing something else. That's all I'm saying in this song. It's our problem. It ain't the man problem. It ain't the mayor problem. It's our problem. It's our children out there doing that dumb stuff. Our children getting hot out there shooting dumb drugs. Take responsibility. Take responsibility. Yo, Rodero, the one man show. Take responsibility. I keep telling y'all, when you see evil, if you can stop it, stop it. If you can't stop it, don't worry about it. But if you can stop evil in its tracks, stop it. We should all be cleaning up our own streets. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the Cleric Brother Derek. This is Minister Brother Derek. What's going on, everybody? I put this on the review channel some of you might not be familiar with the review channel, so I thought that I would bring the 360-degree video of my first bike ride. Now, some people are always naysayers. When I was telling y'all that I was going to move and we was looking at apartments, well, we moved twice. I told y'all we were going to get a bike that's similar to a moped without the insurance and registration and all that crap. Thanks to Congress, it took almost a year, but we got it. People are always trying to put people down, always trying to hold people back. But when you look, hook, nook, or by crook, Brother Derek does what he says he's going to do. And to all the people that listen to me while I moan and groan about Congress, thank you. But we did it. Now, let's see the result. This is the picture of the bike right here. It's the Paselec PX5. You can go to their website, paselec.com, or you can go to Amazon and pick this up. This is the killer for the electric XP. So many people are loyal to their bike, but they have to put their own shocks on. That can cost anywhere from $300 to $400. They have to buy the suspension posts from the electric XP people or buy from someplace else. It costs you around, it's $90 on their website. So you talking about an extra $400 or $500 to get something that's already included at the same price. I mean, talk to me. Make it make sense. That's why this is the better deal. So let me stop talking about it and let's get to it. So let's drop that. And let's shimmy on down here to Windows Media. Don't go over the Hangouts. All right, y'all. This is my first bike ride on the new bike. NNC named it Big Boy. So we ain't going to say Bessie no more. She named it Big Boy because of the big fat tires. Let's go. Alrighty, y'all. All right, we still live. Well, then let's go. Turn some music on.
Music.
Hey man, what
Can y'all see?
What's this?
Yeah.
One man show? What the heck is a one man show?
Let's turn the bike on.
But I saw find out a minute.
It's in passenger assist 1.
Yeah.
Let me get my feel for it first, y'all.
Yeah. I'm coming back. Running after. A new sound, a new high. Don't ask why. I like to hit you with beat step out. I trounce suckers.
Yo, this don't feel right. This thing is huge. Oh my God.
Playing. Don't F around and wind up done. And we know you're sweeter than cinnamon buns. Fellas be front like Curry Ellis, sporting gold.
Let's see if we can get up the hill.
That's
Get up the mountain.
Yo, I get mad props, flash, mad knots of cash.
Uh-oh.
I still splash all over you like a crash.
Uh-oh. Hey, yo, we cruising.
Let me go up to passenger
we scaling the mountain. There'd be somebody coming. Oh, this thing got some power. You see how fast we came with the mountain? That nigga wrote the money right there. Everybody in their mother coming. Everybody in their mother coming. Everybody in their mother.
Hey, I got something to say. Yo. Let me look at you play on the street with the crack bow and the needles under that feet. I play some I do what I need, and then jet. But there ain't nothing down there for me. That's on high end.
This thing got some power. Oh, heck yeah.
Forget that, but I'm a son.
This is everything I dreamed of.
On that way to work with a short skirt. I'm looking don't hurt.
It's really windy here in Maryland. Not to mention we going 20 miles per hour. You gotta learn how to ride this thing. That's got a pedal assist. I'm hitting all the glass I'm running over.
The great one, the best time for time. Hold on, a radio black with a gold trim. No Hellcat for custom made rims.
This thing got some get up and go.
Chainsaw luggage rack. So you sucker can't jack me for my base too. While I snooze, I get around like Tupac. I'm the American bad ASS.
That's Kid Rock, the real heavy D. Forget Bismarck E.
I'm the human orchestra. I don't need no prop. I'm the kid. I can't stop.
Oh yeah.
I'm a dominator, breaker. This is my forte. You can't hang with me. You can't bang with me on these balls. I dump trash like Shaq. I was doing your back.
Cause a brother like Derek. A brother like Derek.
Go inside your head. A brother like Derek says grow up. A brother like Derek says stop.
I'm just riding around getting the feel for the bike. Who you gonna attack, son? Cause I put you on your back.
A brother like hit like this. I kick out beats with no assist and make them all you start even thinking, you start blinking. That's number one lead. I see.
I'm still getting the hang of this thing, y'all.
Never been heard. I use nouns and verbs and I stay alert. You mess with me, you only get hurt. Cause I really don't care. I answer to no one. I live alone, stay alone, keep to myself. See, that's good for my health. Can't nobody take what I make. So you never know what I
I'm
got.
rocking. We rocking.
Rodero.
A brother like that.
Drop that.
A brother like that.
We'll go inside your head. A brother like that.
Wait a minute, y'all. Pause 1 second. I need to take care of something that I can't do on the StreamYards. Why they ask me about the Windows Media Player? We in full screen so y'all can see what we doing. We just need to go to settings and go to community and give me a second, y'all. Give me 1 second here. I'm looking for you. There you are. Is there a way to can I copy this? Copy image address. Unblock. And come in. Paste. I don't think it pasted. But say something and I'll give you your wrench back. All right, y'all, let's go back. Back to the show. Sorry about that. I'm not even sure because the phone blocking the daggone screen.
Every day
I need to get a new mount.
and I read the obituary.
Oh, this phone gotta come over here.
And if you ride in the back of the cab, goddamn, this is sounding a whole lot better than you than it is to me because you got the speakers back.
But
I'm out.
and the 360 cam is blocked by the phone.
The back seat, the front speakers.
All right, y'all. Let's go back.
Front seat, the front.
Whee!
Just too damn weak. Above it like that, says drop that. Above it like that.
And I'm in the highest gear.
Above it like that.
Now we were going uphill. I should have put it in the lower gear. We're just riding around getting the feel for the bike. All right, y'all. Anybody know how to work the shifter? Does anybody know how to work the shifter? I'm gonna put it in the low gear. I had it in the high gear. Uh-huh. Wait a minute, something ain't right. Yeah, it won't let me go down to one gear. All right, so let's try something different. I got it in low gear now. Let's see how fast we go. I don't see it. There it is. How fast we going now? All right, get back to the video. Yes, he is. We had to wait a whole year. We gotta.
what tripping me out? The seat. The seat is tripping me out.
Look how raggedy the street is, but the camera not bouncing. Only when I pedal.
Right on something. Hope we know nothing. That was a big bump. We just hit. It's hard to resist, so I depend on the gift of the Holy Spirit.
One,
Everything that I do for
two, three. Anybody else? Four.
We can't get no speed. We gotta keep stopping. Yeah, we can't get no speed. We can't get All right, Charlie. This mount not working. For real.
I had a problem with that phone mount. I'm gonna take the one up the scooter and put it up there. Lord, you ought to steward up my ship. Everything that I do for you. Everything I do I do for you. And notice, God, everything I do for you. Oh, blew that stop sign. I said we blew that stop sign. You see that lady turn around, look at me, like, how's he going so fast? We are flying. Call me Flying Brian. Blue another stop sign. Where Tony at? I'm blowing all these stop signs. How long it take to charge up? It depends on how far you empty it. I couldn't empty it last night. Usually between 4 to 6 hours. I've been letting it charge all night, just to get the battery where it's supposed to be at.
Light got me.
Y'all know I could have ran that light, but I said nah.
Yo, this is power. This is power, y'all.
It is. He said, "Oh, that big boy get you no ticket."
I'm going to gear 6. The old man in the video said he was on gear 6. That's where we going now. Waiting on the daggone light. I don't have to wait, but actually, we ain't gotta wait. We're trying to be respectful, but we ain't gotta be. Let's go. Oh, we got speed bump. Let's set the shocks out. Here we go, speed bump.
Yeah, nothing.
Well, the phone didn't like it, but the phone didn't like it. Got no speed hump. Yeah, this phone getting on my nerves. I'm gonna leave it alone. We got the 360-degree footage. We good.
And that's what we're using right now. Appreciate y'all riding with me. But we always got the other camera to back us up. I'm pedaling. Whenever the camera wobble like that, that means I'm pedaling.
And we came down here on the scooter many a day. And don't need no insurance. That's the crazy part. Oh, I should have went to the light. Still got all my balls of energy. What can you do? All right, y'all, I'm using the pedal assist. We're going uphill. I should have went to the market while I was up there. We're doing 12 miles. I should have cut over right there, damn. We just cruise. I'm telling y'all, it's like riding on pillows. Ooh. Are they gonna let me go? Heck no. With no computer. And what? All right, Floyd, let's go.
There's the building I used to live in.
Gotta show respect for the law. All right, we clear. Let's go. You can take your time. We got speed bumps. Take your time, Bessie. You can take your time, baby girl. Hey, that's the first one. Where's my second one at? That a third one? Damn. That's gotta be new. Yep. You know why? Tick tock, I'm ready to rock. You doing what? Too far back.
There's that park I be telling y'all about. It's 4 baseball fields in a row.
Come on. Let's go.
We on the real road now. Look out! Look out! Don't hit the car! See y'all later. I ain't got to obey that light. Bye. The other cars ain't caught me yet. I slowed down for that cone. Yeah. Hey, look at that. Suppose I'd have went the other way. Suppose I would have went outside instead of inside. I'm out there with the big boys.
How you doing, bro?
That bump killed a little bike.
Brakes work excellent. Yeah, I need a new mount for that.
Talking about the phone camera.
Hey, don't even try it. Brake tried to take me into the pole. Boy, it's heavy. Where's my buddy at? He ain't here today? On the shore. He gave me a hard time. He was like, man, you need to get a moped. You got a little itty bitty thing. I told him, I said, it's coming. All right. Oh my goodness. If you know this thing, whew, I got to unlock the speed though. But I've been doing 20 miles per hour. Wow. Thing. How fast that one go? With me on it, 9. So I'm loving this. Yeah, you doing double the speed. And you got the nice thick tires on there. I know it ride better with them. You had them lower tires on that other one. Yep. In fact, I think I crushed. This is the suspension post. Wait a minute. I think I crushed the suspension post. Am I that fat? Wait a minute. What's the button there? Oh, I think I crushed it. I'm going to have to tell the manufacturer about that. Okay. Well, you right there. I ain't got to change it. Yeah, that's nice, man. I like that. Yeah, that's me. Oh, my God. I just know that. Where's my risk at? I don't know. What you do with it? Oh. Hey. My bad. How the charge on that? The charge on that go way further? I'm going all the way up. You know where I took Old York Road. I started from Kennedy and Homestead. Went down Gorses. I rode around the school a couple times. Then I rode all the way out to the market. Came on 33rd. Went on 33rd. Got on Old York Road. Took Old York Road all the way up to 21st Street. Wow. Then came back down. Came back around. Came up, yes man. Came all the way down. And hit off the road. And then came straight up. I was going to hit the market. I said, let me get my strap up. Let me get my strap up. Then we'll head up there. Oh, they still ain't got it. So is that one charged as you pedal? No. Yeah, they're supposed to, when you go downhill, they're supposed to dump energy back to the battery. It's on Amazon. Talk to the store. Because I got that for, I got that for $800. Oh, that's not bad. On their website, it's $12.99. That's not bad.
I talked to the seller last night, and I got him. He said he's going to lower the prices on the website. I don't know who jacked them up, but I told him, you're going to be the XP killer. You can't have the same price as the Red Rover. You got to come down a little bit. Between $800 and $900 is a good price. It's going to cost you $400 for the shock and the suspension post. The electric XP is $899. That's your basic differences. The suspension. See, people be cheap, and they'll pay the $899 and say they don't need suspension, and then be taking air out their tires to help with the bumps, and then they go back and they buy the suspension post. Electric XP sell it for $90. If you look on eBay, you might can find one for $50. Then you have to get the fork. The fork usually costs $200. So now you up to $300.
So now your $899 is now $1,100. Then you gotta pay somebody to put them on, and you gotta widen out the frame out. Because unless you bought the fork specifically for a fat tire e-bike, you're going to have somebody widen the forks. So they fit around the tire. So you're going to wind up spending $400 or $500 on top of the $899. You can get it for $8 already installed.
I don't be doing.
Why would you want to pay $1,400? That's all I'm saying.
Did nobody tell you to turn on first? Just put that. I already got something back there. There you for when we had to go someplace crazy. Alright.
Faldo says, no doubt in the process of moving. Once I settle, I'm going to save up to July and cop one. I'm 6'6". I got to get a high one.
The pump. The tire pump. In case you get it flat. That's a charger right there. And I got a power bank in here.
They have more than one kind of bike.
22,000 milliamp.
They got the 1.
So it'll probably charge.
They got the 1 to 2, the 5 to 6 to 7.
2.5 quarters.
They have a step through.
Damn, this thing heavy.
And they have a step through, and they have mountain bikes.
Yeah.
I tried to sweep some.
I wanted a foldable one.
It's kept up right back.
You said how far am I from McDonald's? Is somebody treating? I'll ride up there.
But I don't need no cab now. Only time I need a cab is if I get a flat tire.
Thanks, buddy. You have a good one.
Yeah, I'll take a cab up to the bike shop. Let them fix it.
Because I got food stamps.
I can get
I
everywhere.
might want to hit the McDonald's. Hit McDonald's, I'll go.
August, we're going to ride up to the, yeah, on an adjustable seat. Yeah, you can buy seat posts, an extended one. You got long legs. That's because people don't know about them. That's why I'm trying to get the word out.
You know, if it wasn't getting dark, I would go to the McDonald's right there.
Like I said, if you don't have a garage, you have to leave your car outside. You have to leave your moped, your motorcycle outside. Anybody can do anything to it.
Like that young man said, don't want to hurt nobody.
I prefer a bike so that I can bring it in the house.
But I'm not far from McDonald's.
And I know it's safe. When I come through that first door and lock it, I know I'm good. Then I can take my time bringing it upstairs. But as long as I get in and lock that door behind me, I'm good. That's the key. Make it to the house. Make it inside the house, lock your door. When you got to leave something outside, you got kids playing ball, people outside fighting, acting stupid, people shooting at each other. Come outside, your car full of bullet holes, windows shot out. Yeah.
Only car out here. Come on, sir.
I forgot to go up the ramp.
Only car out here. Let's go.
We going the wrong way. Woo, woo, woo.
And I beat him. Guess we can go right here. So I work over getting over that there with your car.
We closed, sir. Too late.
Oh, too late? For real? No problem. Hit the market. You like the new bike? Man, that back on. Let's go.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Right there on camera.
Oh, this brand new bike. What is going on with this seat?
Depends on.
Nah, I just got this guy today.
It depends on whether or not you use the pedal assist. If you just use the throttle and don't pedal, they say you can get between 20 and 30 miles.
And it's still not right.
Depending on the terrain you on.
I ain't gonna cry about
But
it.
if you pedal with it,
So your leg over.
they say you can get between 40 and 50 miles.
Y'all take it easy. Oh, you take it easy. Good.
Boy, this is a dream right here. Many times as I came up this sidewalk, I ain't never rode this fast. I'm flying. Look at me, I'm gone.
You do go walk right in front of us. Watch. Excuse me, sir. How you doing today, buddy? How you?
Never turned around. I knew he heard me coming. Hand in his pocket. Maybe he had a gun.
How y'all doing? You good? How y'all doing today?
Now, going up on these bumps right here on the bike almost throw me off on the other bike. On this one, I ain't even feel them. You're going down again. Boop. Going up again. Boop. Didn't even feel it. Look at all them bumps in the street.
I said, high five. Lean into that turn, young man.
You ain't leaning this way. Look out! Look out! We're going to the curb. Look out!
Take it over here. Come on, let's go.
Look how steep this hill is. We killing it. We going side to side. That mean I'm pedaling. I don't have to, but it saves battery power when you pedal. And the pedal assist will kick in, and the motor will run harder.
Be real. I'm pedaling with it. If it's clear, I'll take a left right here. Nah, I think it's the next one. Yep.
I went on and went straight. Look at that steep incline. I'm pedaling with it. We scaling it. We just scaling that hill. That hill, nothing. I be pedaling like crazy. That's the school I was riding around in the beginning. I came full circle.
Everybody in mother.
Now, before I let everybody go, remember, this time we just gonna take it.
Oh, I could have made that. Damn. Come on, one more car.
Yep, I could have made it. Y'all tell me that year wait, was it worth it? Was it worth that year wait? We're using the pedal assist. We're not using the throttle. We gone.
It's crazy. Oh. Are you serious? Alright, use the throttle now, just get around the turn. Alright, go back to the pedal assist. Let's wait for it, wait for it. One. Somebody got my spot 2 days in a row. We did all that run, y'all. We ain't even halfway through.
All right, let's speed up some. Because we chaining the bike up.
What you supposed to be doing, man? Ain't no good without the key.
Y'all actually see it get dark. Now, y'all, we see everybody borrowing the bike. I'm inside the store right now. No, I'm not out. A lot more riding to do. I tried to kill a battery. I couldn't do it. Right now, I'm inside the store. Yeah. Nobody seems to be borrowing the bike, so that's good. All right. I was in the store for a while.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back. We can still fast forward. No need making y'all watch this.
It's only your second time. So what's our percentage? I hope not.
Oh.
I want you to want me, for me, just for me.
Can't you see? It can be you and me. I want you to want me, for me, just for me. Can't you see? Uh-oh. Rodero. I love playing the keyboard. Come on. Want you to want me, for me, just for me. Girl, why can't you see? Can't you see? It could be just you and me. It can be. I want you to want me, for me, just for me. Take it out. No, I'm not. I was fixing the seat.
Yeah, this goes there, now you know. I said, now you know. The one man show, the human orchestra. Follow Darks in the house, and I'm feeling.
Alrighty, we all live again. That what they got?
And the phone went dead.
Ain't that working?
There I am.
Say the battery. Like I ready to say the battery.
I didn't need to. I gotta use that. I was like.
We know how to mount this thing.
I'm feeling down, yo. Down, like, right. That's how it's all my mic.
Okay.
I'm feeling
Do 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 do.
right. It's the same old story. Night after night. I'm feeling
Do 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 do.
right. That's how it's all my mic. I'm feeling down, yo. Something like right. It's the same old story. Night after night. I'm feeling down, yo. Something like
how's it going, bro?
That's how it's all my mic. I'm feeling down, yo. Nothing like ever go
Right,
right.
night
after night. I talk with all my mic. But afterwards, I keep chasing skirts and I get hurt, but undaunted. I keep looking day after day. I keep looking for a special way. She's out there somewhere lurking, and I keep returning on the song. But in the end, I always get harmed. Or take it for granted. Lover, I take it fast or slow. I realize now that all women are hoes. Money grabbing, backstabbing, with unappreciative slaves. Two or more kids. Take, never one to get. I'm feeling down. Nothing ever goes right. Night after night. I'm feeling down, yo. None of life ever goes right. That's how it's all my mic. But the future looks like. I'm feeling down, yo. None of life ever goes right.
We still riding around.
I'm feeling down, yo. None of life ever goes right. That's how it's all my mic.
I want to go to the lake, but I'm really tired.
I'm not old. Stop telling me that. I'm not dumb enough to fall into the check or crazy criminals in my rack. I won't get my
Look how raggedy the street is. That's suspension handling all them bumps.
Always one person.
If he died tomorrow, I don't feel your sorrow. Come on with all my might.
I'm feeling down, yo, nothing like ever go right. Right the same one story, night after night. I'm feeling down, yo, nothing like
This pedal assist ain't no joke.
all my mic. The people look like
Here it comes. Coming in again.
like ever go right. The
Do
same
we
old
get the hill?
night after night. I'm feeling down, yo, nothing like ever go right. I thought with all my mic. The people look like I'm feeling down, yo, nothing like
Oh, what's this pedal assist 1? Hold on.
night after night.
Put it on pedal assist 5.
Nothing like ever go right. I thought with all
Here it comes. 1, 2, 3. And it's time to go to the stop. Oh, it's big curve. Time to go to the stop sign.
I don't hate the player, I don't care for the game. I'm just trying to understand, you know, I'm an outsider looking in, I grew up something in a different world.
This pedal assist is crazy.
That's the market the driver been telling me to go to for a year.
Can I be the only one out there?
I never got there yet.
I'm tired of feeling that. Sometimes you feel level to the ground.
She said sometimes up, sometimes down. Sometimes you feel level to the ground. So what happened?
That's a one-way street. Look at me. How breaking the rules? You breaking the law, sir. You're going the wrong way. Now I'm trying to hurry up and get out of here.
One damn person, damn. Red light. What a bitch.
Pardon my French, old man. Yeah. Came down here to ride. Everybody want to get in the way. Look at this. Everybody want to get in the way. Y'all know why? Because we at the low rise projects.
Everybody in their mother.
That's a project development right there.
Won't let me get a bit of speed or nothing.
Everybody in the projects.
What the hell is this?
Anybody else?
Everybody on the main road. They get some speed.
Letting all them cars go by, the light gonna change. Yep. Yep. Everybody but me.
That's not a joke, but that's the lifestyle of my black folks. Unless they got talent, and that's no guarantee. They got to have smart, a lot of heart, and that describes me. Yo, I want to make $1 million, have money spending, God willing, I'm going to make it, and no man, no government, no army. Money is what I want. I want to be rich, so when I come outside,
We on the main road now. Lock Raven Boulevard. Look how we flying.
I'm not a pedal. I'm not a pedal. I'm not a pedal, y'all. And I'm not using the throttle.
And be filthy rich, I want gold, I want to hope, but I'm not willing to sell my soul. I can't throw a football unless I hate to be dumped. Can't box like Tyson, but I ain't no punk. I want to be iced and surrounded by girls. I want to change the world. Be a community activist on a nationwide level.
We've gotten stranded on this block 2 times with the mobility scooter right here. Sitting there charging it up.
The old back up this hill.
I want it all. A mansion, a business, and fast
I'm
cars.
telling you, but I ain't got to.
Of the week with the
I ain't got a color. I don't know what I'm calling for.
Bros can't peak. And who I'm riding with. I be giving off the cops. I be talking, making faces. The Alps and Jamaica be the faces. I visit.
Look how we scaling this hill like nothing. Stop sign.
When I get rich, I won't keep it all to myself. Yo, I need to make $1 million. Have money spilling. God willing, I'm gonna make it. And no man, no governor on it. But let me take it. Yo, I ain't trying to front.
Ah!
I'm trying to be rich, so come on, stop. Not bottles, bumps, and bags of debris. Yo, I need to make $1 million.
Going down the mountain.
Yo, I want to be rich so I can hit everything in the lane. I want to find a cure for AIDS so I can stay laid. But I'm supposed to stay paid, but I'm supposed to be walking. If I can swear,
hell yeah. This is fun.
whatever shut up here.
Now, my apartment is down that road. We going past my house. That's the alley for the old house right there. Now, we came down here earlier. I was slow. Now. We ain't slowing up with those speed bumps now.
What I'm talking about, yo. I ain't trying to die broke. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we did slow up.
I need to make $1 million, have money spilling, God willing, I'm gonna make it, and no man,
Second one.
Your government is ever gonna take it.
This milk getting on my nerves.
Money is what I want.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I wanna be rich, so when I come outside, I can see OPs, not bottles, bumps, and bags.
That's why we got the 360-degree camera.
I need to make $1 million. I don't want to die poor and bought so long. I want a mansion on the Eastern Shore.
Oh, I should have took that. Damn, I had it. I should have took that. If it wasn't late, I'd go up there.
We ain't gone full circle twice.
Like behind around here now. Oh shit.
Forgot about that curve.
Alright, let's throw up.
We ain't rolled this thing many a day. Excuse me. I got way too early.
One day, Bubba's gonna be coming around. Back in time, please put me down. Let me bring one of those beats. I'm gonna get that originality and quality to DJ Black. Please let me get one of your tracks. That's my future, but to me, it's a hobby. That's why you can't ride. ride me.
Hey.
You can't buy me. Got static, then try me. You defeat me, I'll delete me. You flex, but you can't beat me. I bring my Casio.
Y'all
Fixing that.
realize that we still riding around. I said, it ain't that it's too dark. It's because of the... It ain't because it's too dark, it's because of the daggone camera. The phone keeps dipping down. I switched these two things and now it's not going all the way in. So it's not letting us it's not holding the camera up. So y'all, let's go ahead and take it in. You know, I'm having fun.
We not gonna take it in though.
The best part is the pedal assist. You start out in throttle and then you go to pedal assist. All you gotta do is just turn the revolution and it keep going. Just keep turning. You ain't got to pedal hard. Just keep your feet turning. I ain't never came with this helmet fast. Let's rock it. I'm pedaling too. We gonna scale this hill. We doing 13 miles per hour.
Tonight, let there be no doubt. Get the body bag, let his lights out. Yo, I make him shiver. Quiver with the sound I deliver. Yeah, you suckers thrown home when I grab a microphone.
This is crazy.
If you suckers thrown home when I grab a microphone. Rodero, the one-man show. And like I said, like
Broken pedal.
every day I pick up a paper. Tell me to put your earth. How about you first? That's why I work for the grade of the system. You don't want to listen? Fine. Let's start with you when you get locked up.
Slow down, girl. Slow down. Slow down. Let's take it in. Good job. Oh, yeah.
We still riding.
We had a couple of things go wrong, but the mount for this is terrible. Can I just say, the mount, the phone mount, the suspension is crazy. Crazy in a good way. I'm just bobbing on it. I missed that other light. This one is, I don't know why you way down there. This is high as it can go. It still say we got energy left. It still says we got energy left. Y'all believe we still got energy left? We did all that riding today. I put 6 miles, according to this. Y'all want to take one more ride out? Right out to Harford Road and come back? Whew. Yeah, y'all, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and take one more ride. Now, this is real bumpy right here. Let's see how the suspension hold up. Oh, that wasn't bad. Let's take off. Let's go ahead, because we used to take this little trip with the other bike. Let's see what it's like with this.
The one man, yeah.
Stop signing. Hey, they're gonna block.
Philly ain't.
We ain't got no stop sign.
City, you can know I'm right. Sleeping all day, doing shit all night. Yeah.
That's where I fell on the skates at. Look at some of the older videos and see me come through here. See how hard it is to get that hill. We doing 15 miles an hour. This ain't no joke. I thought they had the red light. Was everybody trying? I don't follow friends. I don't follow them. My friends are on a citizen. They was back there alibi, so I know I'm not gonna cry. C-level cash, I ask quick. But C-level Introducing Rodero. And we're home. Thanks for that intro, yo. Like I said, this goes out to all them old school MCs, the ones who laid the foundation. We just sitting here, rocking up the switcher. They put out one little one-hit wonders and then vanished. It's crazy. This whole music has been flipped around. All right, y'all. All righty. Let me turn the Windows Media off. Where are you at? Let's see if we see anything on the news. Oh, 23 minutes ago, breaking news, breaking news.
Now, a former NYPD officer accused in a murder-for-hire plot is expected to plead guilty. Prosecutors say Valerie Cincinnati tried to hire a hitman to kill her estranged husband and her boyfriend's teenage daughter in 2019. Cincinnati is expected to plead guilty to obstruction of justice. She could face between 46 and 57 months in prison. Cincinnati's case has been reassigned to a new federal judge after the original judge in the case was killed last week in a hit-and-run crash in Florida.
Well, darn. All right, let's see what's going on with this fat lady. Come on.
Overnight courts asking the question, what would you do if you checked your bank account and suddenly found out you were a millionaire? That happened to a former Louisiana sheriff's dispatcher, and instead of notifying the bank, well, she quickly moved the cash into another account, used it to buy a home and an SUV. Kellen Spadoni, who you see here, was arrested for theft, and tonight is facing a lawsuit from Charles Schwab after she ignored several of their attempts, they say, to contact her and get the money back. Night court is now in session with civil rights attorney Robert Patillo and criminal defense attorney Brian Claypool. Welcome to you both.
Thanks, Shannon.
Hey, Shannon.
Let's start here with Exhibit A. On February 23rd, Schwab meant to transfer $82.56 into a Fidelity brokerage account, services account, but the company instead transferred $1,205,619, court records said. So, Robert, is their mistake?
Is their mistake, but that does not mean you have a legal right to that amount of money. Even best case scenario, if you were able to keep it, good luck explaining to the IRS where $1.2 million came from and paying the taxes on that. This is no different than finding someone's wallet and deciding to keep it when they ask for it back. Or if a Brinks truck accidentally dropped money off at your door, it does not mean that you are legally entitled to it. There's legal precedents on it where people back in the old days would cash those publishers clearinghouse checks that came to your house and occasionally bank to allow the transaction to go through, but then later on when they figured out the funds were not there, they would reverse it. So though I understand that most people don't have sympathy for big banks in situations like this, you don't have a legal right to it, and you're going to end up getting in more trouble than it's worth.
It sounds like she is right now, innocent until proven guilty, but facing a lot of charges. Exhibit B, then, we go to. The company argues in its lawsuit that Spadoni's account contract with Schwab, now this came from the Charles Schwab account, includes an agreement that if a client receives an overpayment of funds, the client is required to return the full amount. Brian.
Well, Shannon, first thing I'm going to do in the morning, I'm running over to Charles Schwab. I'm setting up my account there, and then fingers crossed, I get $1 million. Anyway, all kidding aside, last time I checked, we have a criminal court of law, not a moral court of law. And morally, this woman is incorrect, and she should do the right thing and transfer the money back. But the law is on her side, believe it or not, and I think it's going to trump that agreement that she signed, that she probably didn't even know what she signed, probably didn't even know what she read. But real quick, theft, felony theft is the charge. That means that this woman had to deprive money of someone else without their consent. Charles Schwab sent her the money, so that charge is going to get dropped. The last charge against her is bank wire fraud. Again, she has to show an intent to deprive Charles Schwab of money. Last time I checked, Charles Schwab made a mistake and sent the money to her. So in the real world, she might walk free and she might have $1.2 million and she might have a wrongful termination case against the sheriff's department for firing her. They shouldn't have done that.
Well, she's got a world of trouble to fight her way out of now. I mean, Brian, maybe she'll call you up. You are the defense attorney of all defense attorneys. You've made your case. Robert has made his. And we're told, by the way, detectives have been able to get back about 75% of the money. So maybe there'll be some goodwill there. I don't know. Robert and Brian, thank you for your very effective lawyering. We'll leave it to the folks at home tonight. Use the hashtag NightCourt and tweet us at Fox News Night or at Shannon Bream. Let us know how you would rule. Gentlemen, thank you.
So my wife got me this weird
deadly shooting in the Bronx in the otherwise quaint neighborhood of City Island.
A woman who directs traffic at a construction site there suddenly shot several times by a man on a bicycle, and the woman's boyfriend jumping into action to capture the man police say is the suspect. Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan live at the scene with his tragic story of gun violence. Jim.
Yeah, Bill, let me just tell you that you can see this is an active construction scene. Let me just give you an idea of where we are. Right back there is the bridge that leads to and from City Island. This afternoon, police say a man rode up on that bicycle right there and fired 3 shots at a construction worker working with the crew here. A woman, she was shot and killed. Police say her boyfriend was in that car. When the woman was shot, her boyfriend, who was here because of her lunch break, chased him down with the car. Police say he beat the suspect while waiting for police.
The gunman
gunman rode up on his bike, police say, and fired 3 shots at a 52-year-old woman working at the construction site. Her boyfriend, who was there for the woman's lunch break, got in his car and chased the gunman down and held him for police.
The shots rang out, and, you know, you never know because you have Rodman's neck, which is right over here, so there's always gunshots going on. So you don't know, but this sounded too clear, and it was right outside.
Just about everyone on City Island knew the woman who worked with the construction crew directing traffic around the site.
She did the slow and the stop. You know, she had the sign and getting us to slow down. We'd come on the island. Very nice. She was having lunch the other day. As a matter of fact, standing up, and that's a good, you know, worker.
The suspect was taken to a hospital, but he's in police custody. The boyfriend is being questioned by police, who say that all 3 people knew one another, though it's not yet clear how well the couple knew the gunman or why the gunman might shoot the victim.
She's a very, very nice person, very bubbly personality. It's the last person the kind of person you want to see something like that happen to.
She was a doll. She was good. We all understood they were doing work, you know. Wait for the traffic. It wasn't a big deal. I don't know how anybody could be that angry.
Back live now. Again, 1 woman dead after gunshots here on City Island. Again, police say the victim, the gunman, and the boyfriend all knew one another. The man who police believe fired the shots is 67 years old.
All right. I paused that and it still went through. That's electric XP right there. Here we go. This is a story that No Night Broadcast told me about.
Today, we have breaking news this morning. A man terrorized workers at a FedEx facility in Indianapolis.
By the time police arrived on scene, 8 people were dead. Investigators say the shooter also took his own life. Our Brandon Walker is following the latest on why those workers, Brandon, didn't have a way to call for help when this all started.
Yeah, that's because of a policy that is under a lot of scrutiny this morning, Lisa, and we'll get to that in a second. But now we're learning more about what led up to this shooting, at least the scene there, from a chief investigator for Indianapolis State Police, who tells CNN this morning that shooting happened quickly, possibly lasting 1 to 2 minutes, and the gunman is believed to have shot people both in the parking lot and inside the facility. Let's get a look at that facility now in Indianapolis this morning. Police say they responded to an active shooter call at around 11 o'clock local time last night. The gunman has not been identified, and investigators have not said anything about his possible affiliation with that FedEx facility. They don't know for sure if he was an employee. They're not saying so right now. Authorities do say, though, that the gunman got out of his vehicle and immediately began firing in the parking lot. He then entered the facility, killing 8, wounding others before taking his own life.
There are a lot of people, not just officers, but family members who are still arriving and still learning about this incident. This occurred after many went to bed, and some were just now waking up to this.
That's where we get to that point about the cell phones. Meantime, many of those family members, they've gathered here at this Holiday Inn near the facility. Employees there, too, sharing harrowing accounts of hearing gunshots, being told to duck, but not being able to do anything else, really. And there's a reason for that. That's because they couldn't phone for help. It's policy for them to keep their phones in a locker and not on the floor. Growing calls this morning from relatives of those who are affected by this. Many people nationwide for FedEx to look at that policy, and this just in, FedEx acknowledging that it will. Meantime, we are hearing from local officials. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez tweeting, quote, "Heartbroken for the families and others, loved ones of the people shot and killed and dozens wounded at the FedEx warehouse in Indianapolis. Praying for all affected by this tragedy." Meantime, more information from investigators on the ground. They say some of the injured took themselves to various hospitals in the area, and due to different hospitals there, officials actually are still working to determine how many people exactly were shot, Owen.
Brandon Walker live in the newsroom covering the breaking news of the shooting in Indianapolis. Brandon, thank you.
Why are people snagging this $89?
That daggone shame. And nobody could call for help because the company didn't want you to be able to call. What? That man is droves. Look at this.
By a man she met on a dating website. The NYPD released surveillance video of the suspect that they're looking for. Police say the 23-year-old victim had arranged for the man to come to her apartment last month in Bed-Stuy, and when the suspect got there, he allegedly stole $200 from her and then pushed her to the ground. This happened near Albany Avenue and Herkimer Street.
Now, what did I tell you, ladies? What did I tell you? Don't have a man come over your house. He's supposed to provide a place. He can't provide you a place. You don't need to mess with him.
More than 50 people arrested, 40 guns confiscated. Today, investigators detailed a deadly gang war that spanned from Oakland to Antioch. They uncovered it during the investigation of a homicide last year.
This initial homicide led to a long-term investigation into the violence surrounding this gang feud.
Detectives say the warring gangs are responsible for several murders and countless shootings. Good evening, everyone. I'm Frank Somerville.
And I'm Julie Hayner. Today, police chiefs from both cities celebrated their successful partnership and said it will make both cities safer. KTVU's Andre Sr. joins us now live with the details of what was called Operation Windstar. Andre.
And good evening to you, Julie. The reason it was called Operation Windstar because of the minivan that was seen driving away from the scene of the murder that touched off this whole investigation.
When Donzay Young was found shot to death in Antioch last August, it led to the unraveling of a war between rival gangs, Case, the other ENT.
Young was an active Case criminal street gang member, and he was targeted by a rival criminal street gang known as ENT.
Sketches of the shooters were released as part of the larger narrative Antioch Police Chief Tammany Brooks said began to unfold. Young's death was part of a gang battle that would eventually lead to the seizure of more than 40 weapons, cash, body armor, and linked the shootings of 5 people in Antioch to 6 shootings and 1 homicide in Oakland. The cases unfolded over the last year.
They have been the focus of violence in the city of Oakland for far too many years and will continue to relentlessly follow up on their activity.
Oakland's newly minted police chief acknowledged tensions between the groups and vowed to fix the problem, while at the same time expressing regret.
I owe this city an apology that the group and gang violence that started in Oakland has now found itself in the city of Antioch.
As for Young's murder, police arrested 7 people, among them a father and son, 42-year-old Charles Bolden and his 19-year-old son of the same name. Authorities say the investigation has led to the arrests or identities of 36 adults and 15 juveniles from both gangs who are connected to drug sales, violence, and murder. Contra Costa County District Attorney Diana Beckton says she is prioritizing the arrest and prosecution of those rounded up in the sweep.
My office is committed to doing everything that we can to deter this type of gun violence.
And Antioch Police Chief Brooks said that in addition to the 40 weapons that were confiscated, they took at least 15 more off the group that were ghost guns, and those are weapons that do not have serial numbers, so they're hard for police to trace when used in crimes. Now, both groups are linked to retaliatory shootings that took place in Antioch back in February and in March of this year. Back to you.
All right, Andre Senior reporting live. Thanks, Andre.
Yes, Nia, I got to tell you, it has exceeded my expectations. This bike has exceeded my expectations. I don't even want to call it a bike. I want to call it a moped. I unlocked the speed settings. It came factory set at 20 miles per hour. And I looked at the manual because you see it on the show yesterday. It said to put it on 100, but I looked at videos on unlocking the electric XP, and I had Googled, 28 miles and kilometers, and it was 45. And I watched the 2 videos on electric XP, and 2 people said put it on 45. It could go up to 100, but it's going to default back to 20 if you go higher than 45. So I put it on 45. So hopefully, throttle, we should be getting 24 to 26, and pedal assist, we should be getting 26 to 28. I don't know if I want to go that fast, but I don't know if I want to go that fast, Nia. I kid you not. It's scary. Okay. Say what? Somebody sent me some links, but I got no way to transfer them over to the computer because of how they sending it. So if you're wondering how come I don't play your links, it's because I got to figure out how to transfer them to the computer. Maybe I can. I don't know if it won't let me copy them. Let me see. Well, we already showed the FedEx. I don't know what that is. Yeah. I know. That's the one thing about living in the city. See, so some of y'all live in the country. Out there in the country, y'all ain't got stop signs every block. We got a daggone stop sign at every block. You can't get no speed. As soon as you get going, it's time to stop at the stop sign. That's one thing if you notice. Listen to how many times I say stop sign, stop sign, stop sign, stop sign. No, it's a bicycle. Matter of fact, I'm going to order one of those stickers that say Class 2. In case you get pulled over. See, I can go into the settings and I can make it a Class 1, I can make it a Class 2, or make it a Class 3. So I can go back and forth. Now, if this was 5 years earlier, you was able to get a moped and ride around without registering it. But then, of course, the young people, the young drug dealers that heard about it, and they decided to go buy him, and they out there running in the back of trucks that's parked, unloading and running people over. So that got stopped. So that's why we didn't get a moped. To get a moped, you got to register it and you got to have insurance. But the bike laws are still the same. To be on certain trails, like I told y'all, we wanted to start taking the trails. We're gonna start looking into it. Some trails have laws. I'm gonna have to look into it. But them trails have deer. I ain't gonna be speeding through there all fast. As you saw that night, some of them trails got deer. Slamming into a deer hurt in a car. How would it feel on a bike? But like I said, yeah, I'm gonna start slowing up for the. I slow up for the stop signs on the small streets. On the big streets, I stop. But I'll go ahead and, I'll go ahead and follow the rules. And, if I'm at a red light, ain't nothing coming. But I'll be patient. I mean, we all going the same place. Nia says we have stop signs. They're farther apart. We got stop signs every block. It's a daggone headache. As soon as you get some speed going, stop sign. Speed going, stop sign. Speed going, stop sign. And then you heard me. I got mad because I actually went on a regular road to get away from the stop sign. And I'll be darned if they didn't throw a stop sign at me and told me that the people from the other side, they don't have to obey the stop sign. They can keep on going. And I'm just watching them go, come, and come. And then I go, and we can finally fly up the hill, and then the light changed on me. Everybody else went, except me. Yeah, I got a little mad. All right, Nia has a link. So we got to, wait a minute. We got to go back because I didn't open up a chat. Because I've been showing full screen. I ain't show a chat because I've been showing full screen. He said, copy and paste this video. Copy link address. Are you letting us do it? Nah, ain't letting us do it. But that's all right. Put it on the Hangout. Go to my Hangout, so ain't no problem. Okay, and let me see if I can copy it from here. Let's try it again. You said he's covering the protest again? Let's take a look. He got so many. He like me. He got a bunch of channels. There he is. Wait a minute. He got a commercial and an egg. Go ahead. All right, y'all. This is Reg Life. Y'all remember Reggie from the riots? That wasn't me. I don't know what the heck going on. It
wasn't me. And he took my ID because I was pissed that they had me waiting. They had me waiting a long time for this merchandise. They said, "Oh, we're gonna have somebody bring it out to you." And they didn't. I'm waiting out there. They ignored me.
What the hell?
Hey, I like that dude, man, who played on The Office, man. He played in Evan Almighty. Evan Almighty. That fool had that beard like Moses one morning. I think that's it. Yeah, that's Evan Almighty. That dude is crazy, man. Oh, this is the courthouse where the police lady was, I mean, this is the jail. If you guys don't know, you see on TV, now you see it here. This is the jail where the woman was booked in for shooting Dante Wright and released. Oh, wow. Oh, military. Oh. Let's go see the back of the jail. Maybe they worried about people breaking in. Hold on, I'll come back, you guys. Let's go see this real quick. Since we didn't see the back of the jail. This is where she was booked in and booked out. Let's go take a, and then I'll come back and finish my circle. There's people in those cells right now. Those are little cell windows right now. Right there. Cold place to be in a jail, huh? See how the back of this look. Oh shit, it's 123. Oh, it's nothing. They don't got nobody back here. Dang, they got everything boarded up. I mean, surrounded. By a fence. Oh yeah, they don't got nothing in the jail, back of the jail. This fence around here. That's fortified across the street. This is fortified right here. So I can tell at night they close these probably. Once the business hours is over, they'll close those. They'll close this right here. So they shut the whole, they shut the whole street down. Once the business hours is over. Police. Let's go finish our circle so I can go get something to eat. Grub. Yep, this is where she went to jail at. They probably didn't go arrest her. They probably told her to come down and turn herself in. Like they called her and stuff. They probably called her and said, hey, look, man. You need to come down here. So we can make the public calm down a little bit. They probably told we would come pick you up and make it look good, but yeah, ain't nobody gonna know that. You come on down here. That's Hennepin County Public Safety Facility. It is a jail.
Yeah, it is quiet down there.
All right, let's finish our complete circle. The media is posted on the other side of this courthouse.
That's that light rail. Yeah.
Text for Safety service. The service connects you by text to Metro transit staff. We can help get police to see expertly and add
Are we getting flagged? Are we getting flagged? Cause the phone is spinning. Let me see. We got any warnings? No. I thought we were getting flagged. The phone was spinning. Yeah, okay. See what else we can get into. Huh? So we got 48 views on that one. How many views on Welcome to the show, everybody. And how many views did we get from last night? We did 2 videos after I came back in the house. We got 47 on one and 42 on the other. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the minister. Okay. This is the unboxing. All right. We're going taking the stuff off. Everything is assembled just like the electric XP. All you got to do is put the handlebars on. Nah, you got to email it. Oh, she already did. All right, hold on. Wait a minute. She already did. Hold on a sec. Well, I could snatch it from right there. Let me block the screen for a second. Give me an image. Not that one. Give me an image to block the screen. There you go. Give me 1 second there. Let me go ahead and grab it. All right. Got it. Scroll back. All right, bring this back up and take that out. Okay. Yeah, hey, you was on your thing today. I gotta get it to you. You was on it. That's allowing me to be on it.
Hello.
All right, this is from Nia, y'all. Ooh. Open the door and let him out.
I was trying to sleep, dog. someone was there to take a seat. Yeah, was not injured at all. Still running across the field. Was it really?
That's crazy.
Hey, NBC News.
That deer came right through the what you call. That was crazy. The man did the right thing, though. He opened the door, slowed down, and let the deer get out. So he did the right thing. Luckily, nobody really got hurt bad. That was crazy. What else can we get into? Yeah. We already covered the shooting. What? Oh, it's appointment system. 1 hour ago, breaking news.
In other news, Arlington, Delaware, investigating a double shooting. It happened late last night at Buttonwood and A Streets. 2 people were shot, a 24-year-old man and a 13-year-old girl. Both victims were taken to the hospital and are in stable condition. So far, though, no arrests have been made.
Somebody playing around with a gun and shot himself and... But hold on, this is from yesterday, but we didn't do any news yesterday, so it's a commercial. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right, y'all, body cam.
The police shooting of a 13-year-old in Chicago, Adam Toledo, died 2.5 weeks ago in what authorities are calling an armed confrontation. Antonia, Allison here. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hi, Allison. Thanks for having me.
Hi there. Oh, wonderful to have you. I understand the city's police accountability office just released that footage this afternoon. Can you walk us through it?
Sure. It is excruciating to watch, Allison, and the mayor warned reporters in the community of this a couple hours ago, but that's exactly what it is. This shooting transpired really what strikes you most when you first watch it is that this happened in just a matter of seconds, in under 20 seconds. You see the officer step out of his car, pursue Adam Toledo down an alleyway. Adam slows down against a fence, sort of turns toward the officer as he makes commands for Adam to put his hands up in the air. And the shooting happens faster, frankly, than you can process the scene. Some people expected that it would be clear that Adam had a gun in his hand, that he had used it or was planning to use it. That is not clear from the video that we've been able to watch just in these last couple minutes. You sort of see him turn toward and listen to the officer, and sort of within the blink of an eye, he's shot, collapses to the ground, and then most of the video, of the body cam video worn by the officer involved in the shooting, is officers trying to save Adam Toledo's life. So the shooting happens in a matter of seconds, and then most of it is the attempt to do CPR, people asking him to stay with them if he can hear them, and you do not hear any signs of life from this 13-year-old boy. And it is painful to watch. The video is illuminating, but there are still so many questions reporters are going to have today and over the coming days, Allison.
Yep,
The
and done
lawyer
it
for
again.
the Toledo family, Antonia, is saying they watched the footage on Tuesday, calling it difficult and heartbreaking, which is in line with what you have been describing to us. What are folks in Chicago saying about this video and just saying in general about what happened here?
Well, right now I'm actually in the neighborhood that the Toledo family is from, and people are, we just received this video, and so many folks here haven't seen it yet or are still processing. But for days now, activists have been warning people to be careful when this video comes out. They knew that it would be excruciating, that there was no way that there could be a video of a 13-year-old shot and killed that wouldn't be unbelievably traumatic to watch. And there's concern that people who live here and knew his family or worked around his.
Alrighty, y'all. We took a chance playing that because YouTube don't want kids on regular YouTube. They gave them their own YouTube so they can keep Google can keep advertising to you. They're gonna shine. Looking for something good. 4 hours ago, breaking news.
Experience
commercial. I want to see that. I know it's old, but I want to see
Activists
that.
took their fight to stop Asian hate into the subway. That's exactly where police say a man harassed a rider of Asian descent.
Shouting slurs and derogatory statements in the 96th Street station, even pointing his finger right in the woman's face, as you see there. News 4's Jackie Beckford spoke exclusively with that victim and joining us live now tonight from the Upper East Side. Jackie.
Well, Natalie, that woman says this has never happened to her before, but unlike recent incidents we've seen where no one actually does anything to help, she says someone did come to her aid. In fact, she says it was a homeless man who sent that suspect running. An Asian woman says she came face to face with hate on the subway Thursday, snapping this picture showing the harasser with his finger in her face.
He said a bunch of things like and then some stuff in Spanish.
The woman, who wishes to remain anonymous, says the man was sitting across from her on the southbound Q train at 96th Street.
The man across from me just started spewing random racist crap. I told him to, go away because I didn't want to hear any of that. And he just got more aggressive.
She says there were very few people on the train, but as he stood to approach her, it was a homeless man who came to her rescue.
Before he could actually do anything, a homeless guy on the other end of the train shouted at him and ran over, and he left. So I'm very thankful for him.
Asian hate. The incident comes the day after demonstrators took to the subway to protest rising hate against Asian New Yorkers, specifically underground. The NYPD nor the MTA could offer specific numbers on Asian American hate crimes on the subway, but police say there have been 54 anti-Asian or COVID crimes overall, compared to only 12 the same time last year.
This is my first time, actually.
Really?
Yeah, so it was kind of a surprise, but kind of not. All at once.
This latest victim of hate encouraging others to speak up.
But what can you do other than report it as often as you can to get them off the streets?
And again, police still looking for that suspect. Now, the NYC Transit has said recently that they have requested more police be on the subway. It's unclear, though, still if that has been done. We're live on the Upper East Side. Jackie Beckford, News 4, New York.
All right, Jackie, thank you. And tonight, the NYPD made an arrest in a separate anti-Asian attack, also on the Upper East Side. 31-year-old Daniel Negroni of the Bronx is charged in this case. Surveillance video shows Negroni walking his dog. The attack happened near the corner of First Avenue and East 57th. Police say Negroni approached a woman, shouted anti-Asian slurs at her, then tried to punch her in the face. We're told the 25-year-old victim was able to avoid getting hit.
All right, y'all. I know we've seen this already, but that woman just looks so silly sitting there. I gotta take a look. I gotta take time. She's just.
Lisa, back with you. We have an update on a violent confrontation at a beauty supply store in North Harris County that was all caught on camera.
That now viral video shows the owner being punched in the face by a customer. 2 women are now charged in connection with the incident, and one of them faced a judge this morning. KPRC 2's Brittany Jeffers joins us live with what that judge said in court. Brittany?
Well, we just walked outside of the courthouse. As you mentioned, one of those women out on bond right now facing a misdemeanor assault charge, and she did go before the judge this morning. This is DeQuisha Williams. Now, she was assigned an attorney and probable cause was read. Her court date has now been reset until May 27th, but this case all stems back to an incident on March 17th. Now, as we reported, the owner of a Houston beauty supply store says that she was punched in the face by a customer who made racial insults. Jun Kim says that the attack left her bloody and bruised with a broken nose. In an interview on Tuesday, the owner tells KPRC that she asked Keandra Young and DeQuisha Williams, as well as 3 other women, to leave her store after they knocked over several wig displays. But Williams, who was in court today, tells us that's not the case. She says she believes that the group was profiled, and she tells us that she was only trying to break up the situation.
In the video, I simply grabbed my cousin off of this woman. I even told her it's not worth it. We're better than this. And when we're getting out of the door, I'm still trying to grab my cousin. But they're saying I'm hitting. They made it seem like I hit people and I didn't.
Also, as a condition of her bond, Williams is not permitted to have any kind of contact with the store owner. Now, as for the other woman charged in this case, Keandra Young, she is facing a felony aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge. Again, Williams will be back in court on May 27th. Reporting live, I'm Brittany Jeffers, KPRC 2 News.
Brittany, thank you. We are
all right, y'all. That's a couple weeks old, but that was worth it. Oh, here's a lady that got beat up.
To a story you will see only on 2 tonight. A beauty supply store owner in North Harris County speaking out
she put the
after
beat
she
down on
was
her.
attacked. You see the video there inside of her store. That beating caught on that surveillance video. And today, a woman accused of assault is facing a judge. KPRC 2's Andy Sirota live at the store with a closer look at that investigation. Andy?
Chris, the Kim family has been in the beauty supply.
All right, hold on a second, y'all. We need to rewind this back. We need to rewind this back a little bit here. The woman just said she had nothing to do with it, right? That she didn't do nothing. Now let's watch this again. She said she had nothing to do with it.
She was attacked. You see the video there inside of her store. That beating caught on that surveillance video. And today, a woman, she was attacked. You see the video there.
And I go back far enough. Bam, 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 bam.
Speaking out.
Now she is trying to pull off, right there.
Video there inside of her store. That beating caught on that surveillance
and she
video.
Backed off,
today,
right?
A woman accused of assault.
But now she's throwing punches.
Judge. KPRC 2's Andy Sirota live at the store with a closer look at that investigation. Andy?
Chris,
now see, that's somebody trying to get over. Now she said that she didn't do anything. And apparently she seen the video and seen her trying to pull her cousin away. But when the men came, she started swinging. So how you going to say that she didn't do anything when she sat there and was swinging?
Police say this woman stabbed a man during an argument at a park in Queens. They got into an argument around 7:30 Saturday night inside a park near Corona Avenue and East 102nd Street. She stabbed the man in the shoulder and once in the back. He went to the hospital. She was last seen heading west on Corona Avenue. Anyone with any information is asked to call NYPD's Crime Stoppers hotline. The phone number is 1-800-577-TIPS.
She had a hard life.
Johnston for CBS in New York.
She looked like one of the boss ladies from the cell block in prison. You know, the one that beat everybody. Everybody scared of. That's what it looked like. What the heck is that? That was a bicycle. Uh-oh. Police chief in trouble.
Speaking out tonight for the very first time, a Wellington City employee who accuses the former police chief of sexual misconduct says she has lived a nightmare.
It is a story Fox 13 has been following for weeks now. You saw her last Friday. Rory Bradley was fired for harassment and retaliation.
And we now know why. The incident being detailed in an exclusive interview with Fox 13. Haley Higgins is on the story tonight.
Video captured December 8th appears to show former Wellington Police Chief Rory Bradley making an obscene gesture toward an employee in City Hall. Moments later, he wraps his arms around her face and neck in a headlock.
He's the chief of police. I was scared. I didn't know what to respond or how to respond.
Later that morning, video also shows the woman walking past Bradley, holding a notepad. The former police chief appears to wind up before hitting her on the backside.
I didn't know what to do. I looked at him and I said, "You can't do that. That's sexual harassment." I said, "Don't ever touch me again."
The videos were included in formal complaints against Bradley in February. The city attorney argues that for months, Bradley sent inappropriate and flirtatious text messages, even asking for nude photos while he was on duty. Bradley was fired Friday by the city council, of which he is a member.
The text messages were simply to be meant to be fun. That's it. That's all it was meant to be. That's all she knows it to be. Because
Bradley's attorney tells Fox 13, quote, he's disappointed. He loves Wellington. He grew up there. He's disappointed he is no longer able to serve in that capacity based on the vote by the city council.
It's not a victory. I don't feel like a victory at all. I feel like, he got what he deserved, because you shouldn't do that to anybody, period, especially if you're the chief of police. You don't touch anybody.
Now, days after the harassment complaint against the former police chief, he then made a counter complaint against the alleged victim, saying that she was the one who touched him and harassed him. That was found not to be true by an independent investigation. And I'm told that the former chief also filed 2 other formal complaints against other women working in the office. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Haley Higgins, Fox 13 News, Utah.
We should mention Bradley's father is also a member of the Wellington City Council, but was not present at Friday's vote. A formal complaint has also been made to POST, the state branch that oversees police training and certification.
If you've been a victim of sexual...
All right, Nia says the men were advancing. The men were trying to make a citizen's arrest, but I see your point. But the men were trying to make sure the ladies didn't leave till the police get there. But I see your point. So maybe she can use it to get off. North Carolina just paid this man $750,000, $250,000 for what? What did he do?
$750,000 is a lot of money. But $750,000 ain't what I would call compensation.
Oh, man. I had to stop that, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know who that is. That's my bad. You got to be real careful nowadays. I only try to use, that's a year ago. We already covered that. That's a nice bike right there. That's hot right there. Yeah. Got a mid-drive motor too. Yeah, that's hot. Oops. No. Why do? Oh, that's 3 weeks ago. Damn, that'd been a good story. That'd been a great story. That's a year ago. That's a week ago. All right, this is always fun to look at.
In San Francisco, where tonight one restaurant is dealing with yet another blow on top of this whole pandemic thing. As KPIX5's Betty Yu reports, they've been hit by dine and dashers, both in person and virtually.
K Elements Barbecue here on Clement Street said that the customers sat near the end of the parklet here so that they could make a quick exit. For restaurants that are struggling to get by, they say every dollar and every meal counts at this time. Security video shows 4 young diners eating Korean barbecue Sunday night, and then the young women get up and leave. The last man sitting at the table asked the waiter for the check. As soon as he leaves, the diner looks around and then walks away. You can see him run across the intersection and into a waiting parked car on Clement Street. The tab? $150. It was the second day in a row K Elements Barbecue was hit. These are the faces of 3 young women, some of them smiling, as they make a run for it on Saturday. The restaurant's co-owner says they just finished a $100 meal and skipped out on the bill.
The Dine and Dash is one thing that just drives everybody up the wall. I mean, there's already so much to deal with the pandemic and having to deal with staffing issues.
K Elements Barbecue co-owners Alfred Lee and Tony Lau have struggled to find staff to bring back since they reopened in February. We last spoke to them in January this year when they had been closed for months and hit with repeated vandalism.
Especially right now with the food cost has been rising. I mean, the profit margin now is definitely lower than what we had before. So every single one counts right now.
They've also been victims of virtual Dine and Dash scammers, customers who order food through delivery apps and claim it never arrived.
We have camera footage that the driver picked it up. But then at the end of the day, we don't know where it went. As soon as it leaves the restaurant, we don't know where it goes. So why are we the one who's suffering?
SFPD says larceny theft in the Richmond Police District is down 38% this year compared to the same period last year, likely because most businesses have been closed.
For something that's only $100, if you can't afford it, just don't come out.
The owners believe that most victims don't report these cases to police, but in this case, they did. They want to encourage other business owners to do the same so the problem can be properly documented. In San Francisco, Betty Yu, KPIX 5.
Let me snatch this link real quick. All right, this is Nia's link. Oh, she said that black man was in prison for 44 years. They offered him $250,000. Shoot, 44 years, almost more than that.
Right now, we're going to go to the racial confrontation that is sparking outrage in South Carolina, where a white Army officer was caught on camera harassing a young black man, saying, quote, "You're in the wrong neighborhood," shoving him at one point. TJ Holmes here with the details. Good morning, TJ.
Hey, good morning to you, George. And you know how this must feel to viewers, to Americans. Another day, another viral video of a racially charged incident. And this time, you see a young black man being absolutely berated by a white man telling him, "Get out of this neighborhood or I will carry you out." Now, while we don't know everything that led up to the incident you're about to see on video, what we do see was enough for prosecutors to say that one man should face charges.
Hours of peaceful protests outside the home of Jonathan Pentland turned destructive overnight. Members of the Columbia, South Carolina community outraged over this caught-on-camera incident.
You better walk away.
That led to the arrest of Pentland, an active duty soldier.
You're in the wrong neighborhood.
The incident happened Monday. Pentland is the man you see on the right in red. The 42-year-old is stationed at nearby Fort Jackson.
Or what? What are you going to do?
In the now viral video, for over 2 minutes, Pentland is seen berating the man for walking in the neighborhood.
You either walk away or I'm going to carry you out of here. What do you want to do?
He demands to know where the young man lives.
Where? Where's your house?
and after repeated threats, gets physical.
You better walk away. You walk away. You talking to my wife right now.
Pentland this morning is charged with assault and third-degree battery, and if convicted, could face a $500 fine and 30 days in jail. Witnesses say police initially said they could only charge Pentland with destruction of property after swatting away the young man's cell phone. But the sheriff says he acted quickly after seeing the video, which has now attracted millions of views online.
We're going to hold those responsible for those accountable. We're not going to let people be bullies in our community. And if you are, then you're going to answer for it. And that's what we've done in this case.
Sade McCallum is a neighbor of Pentland's who recorded that video.
Something just switched. It switched instantly, and he was very aggressive. And I knew that if something were to happen, you know, he was either going to be injured or he just wasn't going to make it out of that situation alive.
You do hear the alleged victim repeatedly attempt to de-escalate.
All the police.
Hey, they've already been called. They're just waiting.
Picking fights with who?
You know what? Maybe you should hang out a little longer. We'll see how it goes.
I just didn't want him to be another hashtag. We know how that goes for us. So that's what went through my mind.
Now, the sheriff is not releasing the name of the young black man in the video, who he calls absolutely a victim, but the sheriff does acknowledge that there were other incidents, at least 2 other recent incidents in that same neighborhood involving that young black man. But as the sheriff put it, there was nothing that occurred in those incidents that justified the assault we see in the video.
They had the evidence proving he was
At
innocent.
that. Also, guys, Fort Jackson, the commander there where that soldier is stationed, did say he does not condone the behavior in the video, and now the Justice Department is looking into the incident.
Yeah, people want to know more answers.
Exactly.
Yeah, more questions. But the sheriff was very clear about that. But
you know,
In San Francisco,
what that man did is really dangerous, and it's also stupid, because in the times we're in right now, when with the uncertainty, with all the violence, that guy was autistic. You know, suppose he wasn't autistic. Suppose he was a gang member. Suppose he had just been released from jail. Suppose the dude had an attitude, and you coming up thinking because you a soldier and thinking because you white ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Suppose there had been a hood and you push him like that and he pulled out a gun and blew your head off. Then what? Who gonna take care of your wife and your family? I don't feel sorry. I don't feel sorry for that man because he's getting arrested. I feel sorry for his wife and kids, because he's going to bring some kind of disaster to that family with that attitude. And people won't get mad and get mad. But I've seen personally people abuse authority. I've seen police officers abuse authority. I've seen officials abuse authority. I've seen soldiers abuse authority. I heard a soldier tell somebody, "You don't even know how to put a rifle together. I do. I'll fill you full of holes." I think that should be prosecutable. You're using your authority to intimidate. I don't think it's acceptable. Nia said, most of them are deceased. The detectives who hid the evidence are deceased now, while he survived 44 years in prison. Then said, yeah, and they want to give him $500,000. How do you get $500,000? Not even $500,000. I'm sorry, $750,000. Let me get straight. $750,000. All right, this 12 hours ago. This might be an ad. No.
Block after block of vandalism, anti-police graffiti, and damage. People spray painted the ugly words all over downtown Walnut Creek last night. Officers responded, but no arrests were made. Our crime reporter Henry Lee joins us now live this afternoon with more on the damage and what city leaders are saying about all of this. Henry.
Well, Heather, Walnut Creek is a relatively quiet city, but it's not immune to things like deadly shootings by officers, protests, and vandalism. Work crews in downtown Walnut Creek spent the morning scrubbing away anti-police graffiti.
The extent of the damage is all black spray paint up and down our business district.
And there was plenty of it for blocks. Neiman Marcus at Broadway Plaza was hit, as were banks, plus City Hall and the police department. It all began at about 9 Wednesday night when 20 to 25 people came into downtown.
These individuals were all dressed in black with face coverings.
Police asked for mutual aid from Contra Costa County Sheriff's deputies and a sheriff's helicopter. Walnut Creek Police Lieutenant James Laughter said officers didn't catch any vandals in the act.
Our officers were present. We did not witness any of the actual vandalism occurring. We did see the large group.
Oh, it's vandalism.
But the group.
Yeah, you saw. You didn't want to say nothing to him. You saw him. You just didn't want to say nothing to him. Your son was probably in it. Nia said the incident was disgusting. She said disgrace to the military. Yes, I don't want nobody to misunderstand because, you know, a lot of y'all have people in the military. I understand that. But I don't want y'all to miss what I'm saying. Back in 2019, we did several stories on where senior citizens were picking off cops. Senior citizens, ex-military, were picking off police. Picking them off. If most black people see the police coming at them, they're expecting something to happen. If you in the military and you come at somebody, and we know that you are 10 times better with a firearm than a police officer is, you're more likely to get shot just for approaching somebody. I don't want that to happen. If a 65-year-old man picked off 7 SWAT team agents, god darn, are you gonna get a man a chance to shoot you? A man come at you like that? Talking about he in the military? The flag should go up. I gotta do something quick. And then, you know, you sitting behind bars for the rest of your life, and that man don't have no family. It need to stop. Because if it becomes the fact that people see somebody in the military and get the same feeling they get when they see a police officer walking towards them. They don't realize that what you do does affect how other people see what you represent. If you represent the police force and you out there bullying people, people are going to think all police are that way. If you're in the military and you out there threatening and people know that you can back that threat up, anytime somebody start walking towards them, they on alert. You ain't going to shoot me up like you shot up them cops. It needs to stop. I don't know who that is. That was a month ago. Uh-oh. Whoa!
Shocking new video, a man caught on camera opening fire on officers after a wild chase in Carroll County. 3 officers were hurt but survived the shooting.
One suspect was killed, another now in custody. CBS 46's Adam Murphy live in Carroll County tonight, getting an update from police tonight. Adam, good evening.
Good evening, Sean. This video is very disturbing and may not be appropriate for everyone. It involves 2 Carroll County deputies chasing a man who had a gun. They came down Highway 61 here and turned on Whitworth Road right near Ithaca Elementary School. They came down about, I'd say about 100 yards or so, and that is when their lives were put in danger. Take a look at this chilling dash cam video, which shows a wanted man opening fire on 2 Carroll County deputies early Monday morning.
He fired multiple times into that windshield with the intent to kill those officers, and Corporal Trout and Repetto done an outstanding job just to keep from getting killed, much less to stop the aggression.
Corporal Jamison Trout was driving his patrol car with Deputy Jay Repetto in the passenger seat. After turning on Whitworth Road, they observed Officer Chase Gordy's vehicle with the Villa Rica Police Department in the roadway. As they approached, they were met in the roadway by the suspect, identified as Pierre Alexander Shelton, who was armed with an AK-47. Pierre Shelton immediately opened fire and struck Deputy Repetto in the arm.
They tell me that the Villa Rica officer was down. I figured he would have finished him off if he could have, and the Villa Rica officer was very heroic too. He had been in a gun battle with a handgun against this weapon and had run out of ammunition and was also wounded and had been hit several times.
Officer Chase Gordy was released from the hospital on Tuesday and is expected to make a full recovery. Deputy Jay Repetto is recovering at home, and Sergeant Rob Holloway is in ICU at the hospital, but improving daily.
All the officers and their families that have been involved still need prayers and anything that you can, and good thoughts for them.
And that dash cam video, some of the most frightening I've seen. It's a miracle that everyone survived. And if not for the heroic efforts of all the officers involved, there could have been more injured. There could have been some that were killed, or even put some people in danger, because this is a residential area. We're live in Carroll County tonight. Adam Murphy, CBS 46 News.
Adam, thank you.
Don't end now. Hold on a second, yeah. All right. We got 2 links. One from Nia and one from NNC. Oops. Hey, where you go way up there? All right, here we go. Dante Wright, accused of choking and robbing a woman at gunpoint, had an arrest warrant. Is there a commercial?
Hello, I'm Lawrence Jones, and tonight Minnesota braces for more violence in the wake of the death of Dante Wright. It's been more than a little 48 hours since Wright was killed, and the officer who shot him and Brooklyn Center's police chief have resigned. Businesses in the greater Minneapolis region have been destroyed and looted. We'll have an update on the ground for you in moments, but first, I have to be honest with you. This is a difficult topic for me for many reasons. I'm a young black man in America who grew up wanting to be a cop. When I was a kid, my friends and I would play cops and robbers, and I was always the cop. I was a police explorer, and I eventually went on to college to major in criminal justice. I have nothing but respect for the profession. I know how hard their job is. I know the stakes. I understand the inherent danger that comes with being a cop. But sadly, I also know what it's like to have a negative experience with a police officer. I personally understand how experiences like that can lead to fear and distrust. And look, I'm not alone in feeling this way. We all have stories like Senator Tim Scott.
I recall
walking into an office building just last year after being here for 5 years on the Capitol. And the officer looked at me with a little attitude and said, "The pen, I know. You, I don't. Show me your ID." I'll tell you, I was thinking to myself, either he thinks I'm committing a crime impersonating a member of Congress, or what?
Now that's a Republican. Stopped 6 times in the Capitol in 1 year. Look, I get it. Every time a police officer makes a stop, they have one goal in mind. They want to survive it. They want to go home. And the citizens they interact with, they want the same thing. They just want to go home. How could something so simple become so complicated? Unfortunately, it is. Tragedies like the death of Daunte Wright can happen, even when an officer has the best intentions. In these tragedies, they leave voids in families. They leave voids in communities. They leave voids in our heart. The problem with a void is it needs to be filled. Nature hates a vacuum, so we try to fill these tragic holes with bad ideas. Some big, with policy, with calls for reform. The political left understands this all too well. They know better than to let a good crisis go to waste. And they fill these voids with those bad ideas and rhetoric that don't make the communities or the officers sworn to protect them any safer. Take Congressman Rashida Tlaib pouring gas on the fire with this tweet. It wasn't an accident. Policing in our country is inherently and intentionally racist. Daunte Wright was met with aggression and violence. I am done with those who condone government-funded murder. No more policing, incarceration, or militarization. It can't be reformed. So let's get this straight. Rashida Tlaib wants to take away your guns and the police officers sworn to protect you. What could possibly go wrong? Think about it. Then there's former President Obama, who tweeted this. Here's a reminder of just how badly we need to reimagine policing and public health safety in this country. Here's an example of reimagining policing, courtesy of Brooklyn Center Mayor Mike Elliott.
I don't believe that officers need to necessarily have weapons, every time they're making a traffic stop, or engaged in situations that don't necessarily call for weapons.
Look, that's not just a bad idea. It's a deadly one. Any cop will tell you that traffic stops are among the most dangerous parts of their job. You don't know who's waiting for you as you approach a car. It could be a sweet old woman with her license and registration, or it could be a violent criminal with a machine gun. Take this officer, New Mexico police officer Darren Jarrett, was armed when he was killed in the line of duty. I want you to look at this picture and tell me that the cops that protect us shouldn't have guns during traffic stops. Look at that video. That's obviously an absurd idea. Black folks don't even support this nonsense. But the problem with the left's bad ideas on police reform is that they go unchallenged. They take up all the air in the room because conservatives aren't offering up enough common sense ideas in the wake of these tragedies. The Democrats' echo chamber is responsible for cities defunding the police, and we're already seeing the dangerous consequences. Take Minneapolis. The city council voted to slash its police budget by $8 million. What happened? The number of gunshot victims doubled. Carjackings went up 330%. It suffered 1,000 more violent crimes in 2020 than in 2019. It backfired so badly that the council voted to refund the police. but the original bad seed of an idea lives on and will take root in other cities. The left will win this war of ideas if Republicans won't even show up to the battlefield. Their ideas will become policy, and we will all be left safe for it. The tragedies will keep happening. Our cities will continue to burn.
Cities will continue to burn also, sir. The Republicans is worrying about getting money from the corporations. They're not worrying about regular people. That's my problem with Republicans. I got a problem with Democrats too. All right, we got both of them videos in. Uh-oh.
An independent
Breaking
reviewers
news.
found that a San Leandro police officer who shot and killed a man who was waving a bat inside of a Walmart store made a flawed decision to confront the man alone. The man was Stephen Taylor. He was threatening customers with that bat inside the Walmart when a police officer first tased him. That same officer shot him when he would not put down the bat. The review says that Officer Jason Fletcher failed to de-escalate the situation or use crisis intervention.
I don't know how old this is.
And then here is an exchange that happened after the incident began to settle down in terms of the high emotions at play. And the victim here is standing by a car, and the officers are now trying to explain what happened. This exchange makes me wonder why he's only suing for $1 million. Take a look.
I understand you want to get to a well-lit area, a well-lit area. I get that. But when we follow you that long, look at the climate this day, and against everybody, against us, against y'all.
Against everybody.
Really?
I mean, Cedric Alexander.
Really? The climate's bad for them.
You know, throughout my adult life, I've always tried to give benefit of the doubt to police officers. You will, and I've said it on the show, you will never hear me on this show when police officers, whether they are black, Hispanic, white, Asian American, if they're kicking down doors, if they're in a dangerous situation and they make a split-second mistake, well, we don't know what it's like unless we're in that position. But in this case, like the George Floyd case, they knew what was going on. They had minute after minute after minute to correct their wrongs, and they just refused to do it. They continued to humiliate a lieutenant who was serving their country, when they not only had the responsibility, but you would assume had the training to draw back and calm down and understand they had made a terrible mistake. But it just went from bad to worse. And they had to humiliate the black man, get him on the ground, shove the lieutenant on the ground until he started weeping. It is disgusting. And I just want to know, you've been studying this for a long time. Why do we keep seeing videos like this even a year after George Floyd's death?
I know, I just happened to see it on the screen.
First of all, thank you for having me this morning. But let me say, Joe, I had a number of people call me here last night and very early this morning here in Pensacola just to discuss what they had witnessed through this video. I'm a 40-year police veteran. I'm retired. I'm back home. I spend a lot of time now talking about reform and reimagining policing and doing my part to try to do what we can do to help change this. But this video that we're looking at, it is painfully egregious. And for him to have gone through what he experienced, not just the fact that he's a soldier, which is really important, but the fact that he's a human being. But let me start by saying this about that traffic stop. They call this in as a felony stop. That was not a felony stop because you cannot see someone tag displayed. So he called it in as a felony stop. And as you noticed in your reporting, he even lied about the type of stop that it was, what had occurred. And then we see this ongoing humiliation, this ongoing just horrible treatment of an individual, a human being who happens to be a military soldier. And we see it in this time that this country is in, where we're trying to fix the things that have been wrong since the inception of policing. So this is not a new issue. It's just that we're able to catch it now on video, and we're seeing it over and over and over again. American policing in this country is broken. It's going to have to be fixed. We cannot continue to move forward the way that we're doing now and expect somehow miraculously overnight something is going to change. It's going to take a lot of legislation at the federal, state, and local levels in order to change these behaviors, because even if you look at that traffic stop, tactically, if that was a felony stop, it was totally inaccurate, wrong, was not trained that way. But it was not a felony stop to begin with. And in addition to all that, to humiliation, calling him out the way that they did, you're going to ride the lightning? No, Officer Gutierrez, you should have been fired the night that this occurred. And he should never be in policing again. And quite frankly, those who hired him in that city, from his elected officials down to his police chief, need to be held responsible, and not just monetarily, but held responsible politically for having that type of personality and individual as part of their police ranks. It's not all about training. It's who we're hiring, and we're not hiring the right people for these jobs.
Amen. And it is. And I just got to say here over the past year, it's not just Cedric saying that and Eddie saying that and the Rev saying that. They will all confirm. They hear that. I hear that from police officers all the time who look at these videos and go, my God, what the hell is happening in the ranks there? Why isn't there better discipline? And Rev, something that I know you hear all the time, something that Mika and I were saying when we were watching this unfold.
He got 8? What's wrong with the Rev?
My God, how many times does this happen when the body cams aren't on? How many times did this happen before we started having body cams? Before we started
How could body cams have ever been a debate?
Having cameras on our phones. We're only seeing this now, obviously, because of the technology of the past 10, 15 years. And it shows, you and I have been talking about body cams nonstop. Every police officer in America has to have it. They have to be turned on. If an incident like this happens and they don't have it on, then the burden of proof is on them. But Rev, how many times does this happen when the body cams aren't on?
And that is a real fear that we live with every day in our communities. And let me tell you, if it was not for the 21st Century Task Force that President Obama had, there would not be as much body cameras available as there are. I believe Cedric was on that task force. We had to fight for that, and I hope this administration and this Congress will legislate. We've done the demonstration. We need the legislation. This will not stop until bad police, and most police are not bad, but bad police know they will be held accountable, until they know qualified immunity is not going to shelter them, until they know there is a penalty for this. We are faced this morning with this tape with a 20-year-old young man unarmed that is dead, whose family is going to be reaching out to someone. That's where people like me and National Action Network step in. How do we explain this over and over again without changing the laws? The good news is you are right. Many police are now beginning to speak up. For the first time, we saw police officers take the stand in Minneapolis and testify against Chauvin, which I've not seen in the years that I've been out here fighting against police misconduct. I've never seen the blue wall pierced as it has in Minneapolis. But even as that happened, a policeman still can take his gun and shoot and kill right in the same county that this trial is going on. We need to deal with, if there is no legislation, there will not be a change in behavior in bad cops. Bad cops are not going to be converted. They have to therefore be convicted in the court of law if they do what is wrong.
You know what's really sad? That cop was so fat. He was trying to kick the soldier in the legs, and the soldier wasn't even feeling it. He wasn't even feeling it. That guy, I think that's what fuels it, fear. He kicking a dude ain't even feeling it. Dude not even feeling it. That's got to make you feel bad. Breaking news.
Armed robbery, car chases, and shootings. We begin tonight with a wild crime spree spanning 2 counties. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Kling.
And I'm Tony Lopez. The crime spanning 40 miles from rural Stanislaus County to Ceres, Modesto, and Stockton. CBS 13's Felina Jones is live from where it all started in Houston tonight. Felina?
Yeah, one of those suspects allegedly attacked a woman after she was coming here from the ATM. She was walking over here to her car in what is now a failed robbery attempt, but that didn't stop the suspects from trying again.
He held it at me and he said, "You're going to make me murder you."
Those words seared in Jennifer Bell's mind as an attacker held her at gunpoint outside the Houston Bank of the West.
You get that fight or flight mode, and my dad's always taught me to protect myself, you know, and I kind of just squared off, and, you know, I was like, all right, let's go.
Bell had just taken out $300 in cash around 8 Wednesday night when she says this man, 23-year-old Jerome Johnson, started attacking her.
Hit me with the gun, and so we wrestled and tussled across my steering wheel.
Bell fought him off for 3.5 minutes, getting in a few punches of her own.
Giving up wasn't really an option because I really felt if I got out of the car, he was going to shoot me.
Johnson ran off. Minutes later, Johnson and 22-year-old Renee Ferraris Mendez are accused of attacking another woman in Ceres at the Dollar Tree.
black shirt, black handgun, took the victim's purse.
Then, less than an hour later, robbing a man at gunpoint in Modesto in front of the victim's house.
Came up into the driveway, was armed with a gun, told the RP's husband to give him his wallet.
The victim chased after the suspects in his own car, the suspects shooting at the victim multiple times during the 30-minute chase ending here in Stockton, with the suspects opening fire again, hitting the victim's car. Police arresting both of them here at the scene.
This was a disregard for safety and, victimizing people in our communities.
A crime spree spanning 2 counties and 4 cities, leaving Belle counting her blessings and thankful to be safe.
I am very lucky and blessed, and that I had angels watching over me.
Both men are being held on a $2 million
Crazy.
bail. Belle says if she had to do it again, she would give up the cash, saying her life is much more important.
It's damn shame. That's why I tell you, I don't like going to the ATM either. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Let me play this video.
But let's go now to the murder trial of Derek Chauvin. The former officer decided against taking the stand yesterday. Chauvin invoked his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, passing up his final chance to give his side of the story to the jury.
Have you made a decision today whether you intend to testify or whether you intend to invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege?
I will invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege today.
With that decision, the defense rested its case. Let's bring in Professor of Law at Georgetown University, Paul Butler. He's an MSNBC legal analyst and former U.S. attorney, now an NBC News law enforcement analyst. Chuck Rosenberg is with us this morning. Good to have you both.
Gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Paul Butler, was it just too much of a risk for the defense to put the defendant on the stand? I mean, and were you expecting this? Was this a surprise, or did you think this was the most prudent move for the defense?
Joe, the conventional wisdom was that this person would not take the stand precisely because it was a great risk. Jurors like to hear from the person who is on trial. But if Chauvin had taken the stand, he risked being destroyed on cross-examination. Prosecutors would have taken him through every second of that 9-minute and 29-second video, and he might have opened the door to the juror hearing about the many complaints that citizens have filed against him in other cases.
Chuck, are juries more or less likely to convict a defendant because they refuse to testify?
Yeah, I don't know that they're more or less likely. They're instructed, Joe, by the judge that Mr. Chauvin, like all defendants, has a Fifth Amendment right, an absolute privilege not to testify, and they're told to ignore that. And so for what it's worth, I probably tried 50 or so criminal cases in federal court. Can count on one hand the number of times that a defendant would testify. It's rare. And I think jurors really, truly do try and follow the instructions of a judge to put that aside and to not hold it against him. And by the way, Paul's exactly right. Chauvin would have been subjected to a withering cross. But remember, the core of his defense at this trial was that he did not cause Mr. Floyd's death. Right, that Mr. Floyd died because of underlying health reasons and the like. And so Chauvin's testimony, had he taken the stand, could not have gone to that central issue. He doesn't know anything about cause of death. So it also, for the reasons that Paul stated, but also it makes sense not to take the stand if you really can't add anything that's going to materially help you.
Yeah. So, Chuck, with all the experience that you've had trying cases and being a professional prosecutor for years, most of us look at this trial and we think it's a fairly open and shut case for the prosecution. But of course, in these sort of cases involving police officers, it's never an open and shut case. So knowing that, if you're on this prosecution's team and the jury's going into deliberation, what are you going to be most concerned about?
I was always concerned, Joe, about that one juror, for whatever reason, who didn't get it or didn't care. Look, I think the prosecution did a terrific job. I thought their presentation was compelling, it was logical, it was linear. I thought they adduced facts in a really thoughtful way. I thought their experts were wonderful. So if I had a bet, and I'm not a betting guy, the prosecution has done everything it should do and would likely prevail, except for one thing. You need 12 jurors. It must be unanimous. One holdout juror, and you can always have somebody on the panel who doesn't see it the way the prosecution saw it. One holdout juror can mean the difference between a conviction and a hung jury, which is a mistrial. And that's what I always worried about. Even when I thought my case went well, even when I thought I proved everything I needed to prove, I worried about that holdout juror.
And Paul, I ask you the same question. Based on everything you've seen in the prosecution's case and now everything you've seen in the defense case, if you're worried about that one juror, what element of the case, what part of this trial would concern you most as a prosecution that put on a strong case? Is it the causation part? Are you worried that maybe one juror is going to listen to some of the testimony that says, well, he could still breathe, he could still talk, he could still, so it suggests that maybe it was drugs or maybe it was something, a weak heart that caused his death?
Joe, the prosecution presented one of the most compelling cases ever in the case of a police officer for murder, being prosecuted for murder. The defense had a very difficult time responding to the overwhelming evidence of excessive force. And you're right, if there's any issue that they're worried about, that the prosecution is worried about, it's causation, because the defense did a better job on the issue of what killed Mr. Floyd. Remember, they don't have to prove anything. All the defense has to do is raise reasonable doubt that Mr. Chauvin is responsible. So they let the jury consider a meth overdose, a phenol overdose, heart disease, lung disease, COVID-19, carbon monoxide poisoning. And now we'll have to see if that strategy worked with any of the jurors. If it just worked with one, that's a mistrial.
Chuck, Paul mentioned carbon monoxide. That was introduced by a defense expert, the former medical examiner in the state of Maryland, who suggested it could have been carbon monoxide poisoning that killed George Floyd as he was laying on the ground near the vehicle for so long. Well, the prosecution brought in another witness, actually brought back a witness, Dr. Martin Tobin, a pulmonologist, to refute that claim yesterday. Let's listen.
As to the statement that his carboxyhemoglobin could have increased by 10 to 18%, in your view, that's not possible.
It's simply wrong.
And it was at most 2%.
At most 2%.
Normal.
Which is normal.
So, Chuck, they're talking there about the oxygen saturation levels for George Floyd at 98%, which was normal, and saying it's simply wrong that carbon monoxide killed him. So as you look at the core defense for Officer Chauvin here from his team, it's that perhaps it was underlying health conditions or drugs that killed George Floyd. The prosecution had witnesses refuting that, or that there was an angry, threatening crowd around Officer Chauvin, and somehow that compelled him to stay in that defensive crouch. Have they made those connections well enough in your judgment for a jury to have some doubt about the guilt of Officer Chauvin here?
I don't think so. I agree with Paul. I thought the case was compelling and logical and overwhelming. Look, the defense tried the angry crowd trope. And we saw the crowd, Willie. We saw the crowd that the officers saw. Yep. They were upset, but they were upset because a man was being killed, murdered in front of their eyes. They weren't threatening the police. And, oh, by the way, as the prosecution pointed out, the police on the scene didn't call for backup. They didn't feel that threatened. As to cause of death, Look, I do think the defense did a better job here. I do think that they introduced or tried to introduce some doubt. The clip you just played of Dr. Tobin getting back on the stand in the prosecution's rebuttal case was done perfectly. It was short. It was to the point. It made the argument that the oxygen saturation levels were so high that it could not have been carbon monoxide poisoning. In fact, I remember Dr. Tobin saying that everybody in this room, referring to the courtroom in which he was sitting, has some amount of carbon monoxide in their system, no different than George Floyd did on the day that he died. And so I think that the prosecution by far had the better of the arguments and the better of the evidence. It remains to be seen how the jury reacts to it.
Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel.
Special, by the way, about vaccines.
Yeah, but let's go now.
I guess it's been about 8 hours since we've all learned of this shooting. And what's surprising is how little new information it seems authorities have between what was reported at 7 o'clock this morning and what we know right now.
That's exactly right, Chuck. That's what struck me most coming out of the press conference earlier today. The scene here at the warehouse, the FedEx warehouse right behind me, it remains very chaotic, in part because we still do not have a publicly identified name of the shooter. We do not know the story, his motivation for coming to the warehouse that night. And then we're also waiting for the stories and the background on the victims here. And what we've been told from officials is that it's painstaking work to get that out. They are still working to identify people, that they need to reach out to families, give those families resources and information. And then that is going to take a while here. And to give you a sense of the feel here, just a little while ago, we met a former employee of the FedEx warehouse right here out on this field. He drove here himself and stood out here right in front of his former workplace as he called and he texted former colleagues and friends trying to find out if they were safe, if they were still alive. And he wasn't getting any response and, was just standing here hoping somebody would come by and tell him what was going on. And so that gives you a sense of the chaos. I want you to take a listen to what the deputy police chief described earlier.
What we did find preliminarily from the interviews that were conducted was that, this suspect came to the facility. And when he came there, he got out of his car and pretty quickly started some random shooting outside the facility. There was no confrontation with anyone that was there. There was no disturbance. There was no argument. He just appeared to randomly start shooting, and that began in the parking lot. And then he did go into the building, into the facility for a brief period of time before he took his own life.
Chuck, what you hear him describe right there transpired in a matter of just about 1 to 2 minutes. And officials say that this is the third mass casualty event in Indianapolis just this year. Chuck?
Yeah, this is sadly, there's always an anniversary. There's always something. Today's the anniversary, sadly, of the Virginia Tech massacre 7 years ago. And Tony, I guess is there confusion about who the gunman is, or they're just not ready to publicly release the name? Because on one hand, I guess they've indicated they've searched the gunman's home, but at the same time, they're acting as if they're not 100% sure if they have the right person. Is there any clarity to this?
There is a gap in information there. They have acknowledged that there is a suspect whose home that they have searched, but they are not comfortable coming forward and publicly releasing the name yet right now. Among the employees, what reporters have heard are rumors that this person may have known people here, but none of that backstory, none of the motivation has been made public or clear to those of us on the ground trying to get answers here, Chuck. And so we're hoping that imminently some more of these details are going to come out.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know
I don't know. I know what I'm talking about. There's that commercial, dude. Right back to the commercial.
At random on the road, investigators in San Joaquin County say a man spent weeks throwing rocks at cars. But the brazen crime spree ended when he chose the wrong target.
CBS 13's Anna Giles is in Tracy with what happened after he hurled rocks at CHP squad cars. Anna.
For weeks, police say the suspect would lurk on the rural parts of Tracy Boulevard. They say he would be driving and then throw rocks at other vehicles as he was still moving. CHP officers say a drive through rural San Joaquin County took a dangerous turn when 32-year-old Christopher Steven Fernandez started aiming rocks at innocent people.
They don't realize that they can really put someone's life in danger by throwing these type of objects to moving vehicles.
CHP officer Elogio Ceja says Fernandez's attacks escalated when he threw a rock at a CHP vehicle, causing it to crash. 2 officers inside that squad car were seriously hurt and had to go to the hospital.
You did take a piece of the rock for evidence.
But the attacks didn't stop there.
And our CHP investigators went out to comb the scene and look for any kind of evidence. And while they were out there, their vehicle got hit with the rock as well.
Officer Ceja says luckily they weren't injured and managed to identify and follow the vehicle. They called for backup and an arrest was made.
When they stopped it, they found multiple rocks, the same size and matching like the ones that have been thrown at the other vehicles.
CHP says this is the first time they've ever had contact with Fernandez, and they're still investigating why he would do this. Fernandez is being held in the San Joaquin County Jail without bail. He's facing very serious charges, including attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon.
They should. Throwing rocks, so stupid. Almost as stupid as people breaking glass in the streets and parking lots so everybody can get a flat tire. Sad.
New at 10 tonight, an East Bay mother is in mourning following a high-speed crash in Pittsburgh with a suspected drunk driver. Tonight, from her hospital bed, the mother described losing her 7-year-old daughter and her boyfriend. KTVU's Amber Lee joins us now. She's in Walnut Creek with the mother's message. Amber.
Julie, the mother is being treated here at John Muir Medical Center. She tells me it'll take months of physical therapy before she'll be able to walk again. She suffers from broken bones and a broken heart.
I have to wake up the rest of my life not hearing my daughter's voice.
From her hospital bed at John Muir Medical Center, Corina Rosales tells me she is in emotional and physical pain, having lost her 7-year-old daughter, Sela Mate, and her boyfriend, Romero Castro. On Monday evening, police say a drunk driver in a black Camaro rear-ended the silver Toyota Corolla Rosales' boyfriend was driving. In the car were her 3 children, Sela, Nico, 4, and Julian, 2. They were returning home to Pittsburgh after having dinner at a restaurant. Rosales says she recalls falling asleep and waking up at the crash site with her children gone from the car.
Sela, Nico, Julian, where are you?
And the shock of seeing her boyfriend, who's also the father of their 2-year-old.
I remember touching his back and telling him, Romero, wake up, and he didn't wake up.
Authorities have identified the driver arrested as 24-year-old Christian Vargas. He faces charges including murder and driving under the influence.
This guy just walks off like nothing. You know what I mean? It's horrible.
The DA's office says Vargas has a prior DUI conviction. His bail is set at more than $2.5 million. Rosales' family says this is a reminder about the consequences of drunk driving.
This is what happens. People die. Innocent people die that shouldn't die. And then the family members that are left are the ones suffering.
The family tells me they don't know the accused drunk driver, but were shocked to discover that they knew 2 of the passengers. One is a 10-year-old boy, a cousin to the children in the Toyota. The 2-year-old was released from the hospital Thursday afternoon. His older brother, Nico, remains hospitalized with a broken leg. Sela, seen singing on the far right, is described as a smart, responsible, and loving child. Her family devastated.
And I felt like all my crying, my hurt is gone, and now I'm mad.
I want him to go to prison for life. Because I'm never going to be able to ever see my firstborn again. And I'm never going to be able to see Romero again.
The family tells me they're now faced with struggling to pay medical bills and funeral expenses. The suspect is scheduled to be arraigned in court tomorrow afternoon. Live in Walnut Creek, Amber Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Damn. Alrighty, y'all. Get ready to call it a day. Ha! I was supposed to went out riding. I was up at 6 this morning. I couldn't go to sleep, and then I woke up at 10. So I didn't even, I slept 4 hours. But we came out here and we had a pretty good show. I'll see y'all later on. I'm going back to sleep. I appreciate everybody that came by. Thanks for calling by Nia and C. The other people watching in the bushes, thanks for coming by. And I'll see y'all later on today. If I get up in time, I might go for a ride. It's 3 o'clock now? If I get up like around 7, 8, I might go for a ride. So I need to take that mount off and put the new mount on. But that mount ain't working. It's terrible. So we're going to go back to the other way. The other way was better, in my opinion. So I think I think the other way was better. Like I said, because it's a folding bike, the handlebars aren't long. Actually, the handlebars on the little bike are longer than the handlebars on the big bike. Nah, they ain't much longer. I think they're about the same. It don't have a computer. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for watching, everybody. As Nia would say, see you soon. As I say, I'm going to see you later on. Y'all have a great day. Peace, everybody. We out.